Imagine a single, silent instant shared by the entire planet. Not peace, not celebration, but synchronized catastrophe. Across the globe, in silos, submarines and bombers, a signal is received. A command that should never exist. In this unthinkable second, humanity's most terrible creations are unleashed, not on an enemy, but on ourselves. The doomsday clock doesn't just strike midnight, it shatters. This isn't fiction. It's a scenario rooted in our own technological reality. We, who only recently learned to split the atom, have built an arsenal capable of ending civilization. Launch keys turn. Countdowns reach zero. The sky ignites from pole to pole. Our collective fears forged in the Cold War become a terrifying reality. There are no front lines, no soldiers, just a blinding flash that erases borders and ideologies. The sun is outshone by thousands of man-made stars, furious, fleeting glares of atomic fire. For those who see it, it's the last thing they ever witness, a final, terrible beauty before darkness. The real question isn't just what would happen, but why we ever allowed this possibility. This thought experiment is a necessary journey into the heart of our greatest paradox. To understand this hypothetical second is to see the precarious ledge on which our civilization stands. To grasp the scale of this cataclysm, we must first confront our own destructive capacity. Today, there are roughly 13,000 nuclear weapons on Earth, active, sophisticated, and ready. Each one is a concentration of power that would have seemed magical centuries ago. These weapons are scattered worldwide, forming a deadly web of potential energy. The logistics, command systems, security, maintenance, are mind-boggling, all to manage a power that should never be used. The simple fact that they exist means they could be used. The combined yield is in the thousands of megatons, billions of tons of TNT. This is a force we associate with cosmic events, not human hands. The arsenal ranges from tactical nukes to city-destroying warheads, some designed for EMPs, others for ground bursts. In our scenario, all go off at once, a global, indiscriminate catastrophe. Every tool of nuclear destruction is unleashed, creating a disaster beyond imagination. The world is changed in a single, irreversible moment. To understand modern nuclear power, look back to Hiroshima. One bomb, 15 kilotons, 140,000 lives lost. That bomb was small by today's standards. Modern warheads are measured in megatons, dozens, even hundreds of times more powerful. A single 1 megaton warhead dwarfs Hiroshima's destruction, engulfing entire cities. The total yield of today's arsenal equals hundreds of thousands of Hiroshima bombs. Imagine the horror of Hiroshima multiplied by 400,000 all at once. We're not just talking about cities destroyed, but continents scorched. The energy release would be biblical, a planetary fever dream. The fireball from a modern weapon can be miles wide, hotter than the sun. Shock waves flatten everything for miles. Thermal radiation burns skin at even greater distances. Hiroshima's horror would be replicated worldwide in the same instant. It's a scale of violence with no precedent in Earth's history. The world as we know it would vanish in a flash. In the first seconds, the effects are immediate and absolute. Thousands of fireballs, miniature suns, bloom across the planet, vaporizing everything in their path. The ground turns to radioactive glass. Cities, forests, and people vanish in an instant. Shockwaves, faster than sound, pulverize buildings and flatten forests. The air itself becomes a weapon, crushing everything with relentless force. The thermal pulse arrives first, igniting firestorms that consume what the blast didn't destroy. Cities become infernos, forests seas of flame burning for days or weeks. The combined effect is the erasure of civilization, our cities, infrastructure, and networks gone. For those who survive, the world is unrecognizable. The apocalypse is only beginning, the slow horror is yet to come. Survivors, if any, emerge into a wasteland. The initial violence is over, but the aftermath will be even more devastating. Humanity's achievements are reduced to ash. After the fire comes a silent killer radiation. Each explosion hurls radioactive fallout into the atmosphere, spreading poison worldwide. Within days, every inch of Earth is dusted with deadly isotopes. No sanctuary remains. Survivors face radiation sickness, organ failure, infections, and a painful death. Even lower doses mean rampant cancers and genetic mutations for generations. Our DNA, the blueprint of life, is corrupted on a global scale. High-altitude blasts unleash electromagnetic pulses, frying electronics and collapsing the power grid. Satellites, computers, vehicles, all rendered useless. Society is thrown back to a pre-industrial age but without the skills to survive. No electricity means no clean water, food, or medicine. Survivors are isolated, plunged into darkness and silence. The collapse of technology is as deadly as the blasts. Humanity is left stranded in a poisoned, broken world. The destruction is only the prelude to a greater disaster: nuclear winter. Firestorms inject soot and dust into the stratosphere, blocking sunlight worldwide. The planet is plunged into a cold, artificial twilight that could last for years. Temperatures drop below freezing. Even in summer, agriculture collapses. Billions who survived the blast now face starvation. Ecosystems shatter. Most plant life dies, photosynthesis halts, and food chains collapse. Oceans become sterile as phytoplankton die off. Survivors huddle in ruins, scavenging for dwindling resources in the freezing dark. The ozone layer is destroyed, letting in deadly UV rays once the skies clear. After years of darkness, emerging life is scorched by unfiltered sunlight. The biosphere may never recover. The long night is a trial by ice, fire, and starvation. Would Earth survive? Yes, planetary resilience is immense. Our detonation is a surface wound, a radioactive scar on the crust. The planet's core, orbit, and tectonics remain unchanged. Life, too, is tenacious. Deep sea and subterranean organisms would persist. Some insects and burrowing animals might survive in isolated pockets. Recovery would take thousands, even millions of years. New species would evolve, but the scar of our existence would remain in the fossil record. Humanity's survival is unlikely. Our culture, knowledge, and technology would be lost. Our final legacy, a thin radioactive layer, a warning for any future intelligence. Could this actually happen? It's extraordinarily unlikely. Nuclear arsenals have layers of safeguards to prevent accidental or unauthorized launches. No global system connects all nations' arsenals. Simultaneous failure is virtually impossible. This scenario is a thought experiment, not a forecast. The real danger is escalation. A regional conflict, a malfunction, or human error could trigger a chain reaction. A few hundred warheads could cause global catastrophe, nuclear winter, fallout, and collapse. The fail-safes prevent accidents but not deliberate choices in crisis. The paradox: our safety systems preserve the very threat they're meant to prevent. We are the universe's way of knowing itself, and that awareness brings responsibility. 13,000 nuclear weapons are a failure to manage our instincts in a technological age. Mutually assured destruction is a peace held hostage by the threat of annihilation. On a long enough timeline, the odds of disaster are uncomfortably high. These weapons serve no constructive purpose, only to threaten and destroy. Maintaining them is living on the brink of self-made oblivion. Our journey through this thought experiment leads to one conclusion: our future depends on rising above the fears that built these weapons. We must see ourselves as crew on a single fragile vessel in space. Our survival depends on wisdom, foresight, and a shared commitment to peace. The choice is ours: extinguish our light, or let it shine for eons to come.